Okay, class, so let's set up the reference for the head modeling. So first off, I will um, hide my current references, the front, the side, no, and the back of the body. I am finished with that, so I can just select them here in the outliner and press Ctrl H to hide. Next is I will now prepare my viewport first. So I would like to have two viewports or view panes only. So this means I don't need to see the other views. So what I'll do is here in the perspective view, now while I am having it maximized, I'll go to panels, I'll go to layouts, and I would like to have two panes side by side. So these two panes side by side will give me this there. Oh. So the next thing that I will do is I can now convert this into panels, and then I'll choose orthographic and let's say front. That's going to be my front view reference. And then this is going to be my perspective. So it's like this is where I will be looking at the reference, and this is where I will be working or modeling. No, so this is going to be my modeling view. The next thing that I will do here is I will go to create. I will create new image planes. So I'll just go to create free image plane. There it is. And from here, I will just rename this to head. Let's say front. And then I will go to my attributes. Going to my attributes, I'll go to my image folder, and I already have saved my head reference. As you can see, here it is, head. That's going to be my head reference. I'll go to open. There it is. It's showing here. And then I will just turn on looking through camera. Okay. No, let's just keep it in all views for now. Because the next thing that I will do is I will repeat my step. I'll just go to my create, and I'll do another create a free image plane. Once more, attributes, go to the sorry, let me rename that first to head, side, and then let me go to my attributes. In my attributes, I'll go down here at the folder. I'll go to my head side file reference, choose open, and after I've chosen that, I'll just go to my channel box, or I can go directly here in my UCS or user coordinate system. Let's say in the y-axis, let's try there 90 degrees. It did not turn, so let me undo that. Okay, so let's try the z-axis at 90 degrees. It's not appearing also. I'm sorry. I'll go to my rotate tool there, and then I'll choose y-axis once more. Type in 90 degrees. There, it turned. I was not in my rotation tool earlier. So here, now it turned. Now these references are already well aligned, so I'm not worried, no, how they will be appearing. because they are precise or I have already edited them in Photoshop. So the next thing that I will do is I'll select the two of them. So I hold Control, no, I hold Shift, selected the two of them, and then I will now bring them up into my scene here. I will now convert this front view into a see-through mode and also into a wireframe view so I can see them clearly. Now I will have these two selected once more, or one of them selected. Go to my image attributes, and then I'll just go to looking through camera. This is the front, so I'll just choose front view. Now I can see that. And then here, I will choose looking through camera, and this is going to be this side. Okay, so first, let us now do some scaling. Let's fit this. Let's say I'll select this, and then I'll go to my channel box. I am currently selecting my head front image plane, and in the channel box I can rescale that to, let's say, zero point 0.5, so it gets smaller, and I can select the other one, head side. I'll also rescale it to zero point 0.5 just to make sure that they are of the same size. And then I'll select the two of them. I'll go to my move tool, and I'll just drag it to align. Okay, careful. I think I'll reduce this further. I'll select the scale to 0.45. There. I'm fine with 0.45. Let us save my work. Let's save work. And then I'll go to my panels. Let's check. In the panels, I'll go to orthographic and choose side view. And it appears to be fitting. I'll just push back this view a little bit further like this. That will be fine before I start the modeling. So there, the scale is okay, the position are okay. So now, let me just check. Yeah. So now it's time. I'm sorry. So now that my references are set and they are positioned, now it's time to prepare the model itself. So what I will do first is this. This is already saved. So the next thing that I will do for my model, I'll go to my modeling toolkit. I'll select this. I'll select this edge selection, and I'll select this one edge near the center of the chest, or any edge near the center of the chest. I'll hold shift and I'll double click the next one below it, and then I will hold control and click the vertex, the polygon or face selection, and they will be selected. I can now press delete directly on the keyboard, and then I have deleted the half of this, or the connecting half. Now I'll just double click the other half and press delete, saving work. Okay, so now I can go to my object selection. I'll go to my edit, duplicate special settings. I will reset settings just to make sure, no, because I will be the one to set this. I'll choose instance, parent will be fine, and then in the scale, in the x-axis, I'll choose this, -1, number of copies is 1 only, and I'll apply, or I'll choose duplicate special, and then that's done. Double checking, and do that, saving work, and now we have an instance. Okay, so with that, we can now start to round. So we will round the head, bibilugin. To make it rounded, let us first turn on our selection here, and then I will start first at the side view. I can carefully do this. There, I can select this to round it up carefully. There, I am just focusing for now at one view. Mhm. Let's say we have that before I switch to the other view, which is going to be the front view. I can do that here. I can go to space bar, space bar and right click. Space bar, right click, and then you can see that you can choose the right view, and then it will appear. I can go to space bar and right click. I can use the front view below here, and I will go to the front view itself, and I can switch to the, or I can turn it into an X-ray mode and see. And also I'll choose the wireframe mode so I can see the wireframes of the clone. So with that, I can now start rounding up at the front view. So I can select this, and then I can start pushing them down accordingly. As you can see here, you can select this also, push them down accordingly, and here also. So as I push it, the roundness appears, and then I can also do the other alignments. So for example, if I have this chin there, and then this is the bottom of the neck there. So let's just do this first, the bottom of the neck. Let's say that it should be here as per the reference, and then I will start reducing or curving it up. I will deselect this portion first and then raise up for the roundness of it there, and then I'll push it back there, right, little, and then I'll select, let's say, this portion, and then I'll deselect this too and drag it to have that roundness, and then I can select again this side, and I'll deselect, of course, this I already moved that. I'll deselect the middle portion there. So now I have that roundness for the, let's say, chin or bottom of the jaw. Mhm. And then I will just go, let me drag that a little forward there. There, I'll select the chin vertices. So in the chin vertices, now I have to do, let's say, I'll deselect this, and I will go down here, following the chin, I'll deselect this. I'll bring it down a little. I'll deselect, oops, sorry, I'll deselect this and bring this down a little. Next is the roundness at the front. So this is a little tricky, but we have reference, so it will be well guided. So the next thing is, let's say I have these vertices here. So what I will try to do is set this as a reference. Um, let's just say I will select this line and let's try positioning it here, there. That's going to be the corner of the eye, or this edge is going to be the corner of the eye. Let's say that. The next thing is, after I have positioned it that way, let me drag this. This is to be expanded up to the nose bridge there. And then the next thing to do is select, for example, this, and I will just push this there. So to start with, you should have, yeah, those polygons for the nose bridge, tear duct, and then here, this is going to be, let's push this back. I'll push this back to the, let's say, tiered corner of the eye. That's as far as it goes. That's going to be at the corner of the eye. And I'll push it a little here. Next is, of course, this portion of the chin. It is supposed to be rounding up, so I'll just push it a little there, aligning it. And then this side also, pushing it a little. So pushing that back, would create a roundness, of the head. To see that roundness of the head, we can switch. We can go to spacebar, right click, and let's try going perspective view. And there it is. So the roundness of the head, I'll switch this. So as you can see, the roundness of the head is getting followed as per the reference. Next thing, I'll just switch once more, spacebar, right click, front view, and switch to X-ray mode there. Um, the next thing to do is, of course, let's check the other parts of the reference. Let's say the neck here. Okay, obviously the neck is not yet rounded, and also it's not yet expanded, or not yet, let's say this is not yet reaching the outer portion of the neck as such. So let's say, to see that, I will go to my front view reference and I will drag it back a little further behind the ears up to that point, so that when I select the vertex, let's say here, see, I selected that vertex, I can see and expanding, or I can see the vertices move accordingly. Oops, it's getting selected, the other portion, so I'll just turn it off, select here, and then I'll drag again. That means also I will push this inwards, so I can use edge. I can select this portion and push it inwards to make the neck rounded. So as you can see there, The neck is getting rounded. I can turn on the x-ray so you can see carefully. As I push it, getting round. Mhm. And then here, selecting this, and then here, so shaping it up to the neck, and then pushing it here side to make the neck round and to have that flow of the neck inwards also, right? Next, I can choose the vertex selection, carefully adjusting it, and then let's turn off the x-ray mode and let's position this. I can make this follow slightly the clavicle, or let's say that cleavage portion. I can go down here at my transform constraint, edge slide there, and then here, so that it could, oops, sorry, it could appear following, oops, let's say undo. Also, let me just turn that off because we're just going down anyway. Here, and slightly drag it forward. There. So the neck now, shift right, sorry, space bar right click, front view, oops, space bar right click, perspective view. So look at that. The neck has appeared properly, rounded, but at the back, it still needs an improvement. I can go here. Now, since we do not have a back reference for the head, I will just do this by estimations. I can go to my um, edge selection. I can select these edges and then I can drag them forward carefully, and then I can push them inwards also. So as I do that, I can press number 3 and I can see the roundness being or happening. It's just a simple push and pull actually. No? So again, I'll just repeat. I'll do it in number 2 view mode or 2 smoothing mode, wherein you can see the base mesh frame and then the smoothened model. I'll just do it once more. I'll just push it here and then I'll drag it forward. I think the push was too much. There, right? So now the roundness is getting followed, but let me go to my vertex selection. Select a vertex here, that portion of vertex. Oops, it's getting selected on the other side. So I'll go back to object, select this side, vertex, and I'll select this vertex. Carefully drag it. So I am trying to make it flow. That's the idea in the modeling of this body. You just try to keep the flow of your edges continuous. So far, I'll select this, saving it, and this, there. Careful, and then here, and then here. This is the back of the neck. Oops, sorry for that. Let me just select that. And then I'll drag this and I'll drag this a little bit. So there will be a little dent on the neck, on at the back of the neck. And last, let's remove that dent now as we see the middle, and I can drag this to make it a bit smooth. There. So the next thing is that is going to be for the neck. Let's adjust the jawline. So I can select this also and start defining the jawline into this area. Mm, Clearly, we need some more polygons or vertices and edges, but we will be adding that later on. Excuse me. Now let's go to the back of the head, space bar. At the side view, the back of the head, I can further adjust this by dragging, and then I can also use the rotate tool. The rotate tool will allow me to do this. See, you can rotate the edges. Again, I am in the number 2 smoothening view. Mhm. And in the number 2 smoothening view, I can see both the base mesh and the smooth model preview there. And then I can drag this also. E to rotate it. W to move it. And follow the reference. Okay, so next is of course the roundness at this level of the back of the head. So I can select this and then I can view it here again also. So again, we do not have a back of the head reference, so I can just carefully drag this there, move it here. Mhm. So this one also I can carefully follow. So the roundness of the head is being achieved. I can press number 1 and then I can look here, turn off my selection, and then I can press number 3 for the smooth view there. So far, reference is being followed. Not yet. Let's turn on selection, vertices. So let's drag this a little further to the back. And I'll just remove this up further to the back. There. Saving work here. A little. There. So here, I'll just drag here. Here, I'll just drag it up. So I'm just now using the third or this. I'm using the number 3 or the smooth view, no? So that I can follow the reference. Now remember, once you do that, it means when you press number 1, it's a little bit more or overlapped. But that is fine because that's the low poly view. Switching this spacebar shift to the front view. Now I have this as a rounded portion of the head, but let's go moving forward. I think we still need to improve this, the roundness of the forehead by front view, because this is still appearing to be wide. I'll just drag this a little inwards as such. And then at the top also, I think I can drag this. I can still drag this here just to have it appear rounded. Spacebar, right click, right view. Yeah, that's far enough. Mhm. Oops. Now I have the roundness of the head, and also I have already set up my references. So that is for the first part of our head modeling session. I'll see you on the next video. Where's that?